Radha Srivasadi. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 3. We are on chapter 33. We are going to begin the chapter 33 today, activities of Kapila. So Lord Kapila has been given the Kapila Shiksha to Mother Devahuti. He's speaking to her about Sankhya philosophy, which results in devotional service. And he told her to that devotional service is the goal of human life. And so now we are going to read the activities of Lord Kapila. Maitriya Vacha Evam Nishamya Kapilasya Vachojani Tri Sa Kardamasya Daita Kila Devahutihi Virasta Moha Patala Tam Abhipranamya Tushtava Tattva Vishayankita Siddhi Bhumi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sri Maitreya said, thus Devahuti, the mother of Lord Kapila and wife of Kardama Muni, became freed from all ignorance concerning devotional service and transcendental knowledge. She offered her obeisances unto the Lord, the author of the basic principles of the Sankhya system of philosophy, which is the background of liberation, and she satisfied him with the following verses of prayer. So there is also an atheistic Sankhya philosophy. But that atheistic Sankhya philosophy, we should know that is not by the real Lord Kapila, because God is never going to teach us atheism. He wants us to be reunited with him in love. Why will he teach us atheism? So the real Sankhya philosophy leads to devotional service. It leads to pure knowledge. The real knowledge, it leads to liberation. The system of philosophy enunciated by Lord Kapila before his mother is the background for situation on the spiritual platform. The specific significance of this system of philosophy is stated herein as Siddhi Bhumi. It is a background of salvation. So Sankhya philosophy, if we follow it correctly, it will lead us to liberation. Why? Because Lord Kapila is speaking about devotional service. When we engage in devotional service, we get perfect knowledge. Our ignorance is gone. We get detachment from the material world. And we get liberation. We get situated in our original position. People who are suffering in this material world because they're conditioned by the material energy can easily get freedom from the clutches of matter by understanding the Sankhya philosophy enunciated by Lord Kapila. So, by this system of philosophy, one can immediately become free, even though one is situated in this material world. That stage is called Jivan Mukti. This means that one is liberated even though one stays within this material body. So you see, we don't have to wait till to die to get liberated. You know, many people say, oh, what is the proof that you can get liberated? We can. We just have to follow the devotional service as is being taught to us by Lord Kapila Dev. And we can, while being in this body, get liberation. We simply have to have enough faith and follow it. You know, like, for example, we want to train a certain muscle. So we go to the gym trainer and we have faith in the gym trainer. And he tells us, okay, you do this exercise, you do this many weights, this heavy of a weight, this many times, you do this routine, and you will see that you will build the muscle. So because we trust in the gym trainer, we have faith in him, we follow him, we do what he tells us, and lo and behold, we have trained those muscles. Similarly, if we really want liberation, we simply have to follow what Kapila Dev is telling us. with faith. What he's saying? He's saying just engage in devotional service. He's saying engage in devotional service under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, and we will get liberated. So this means that one is liberated even though one stays with his material body. That happened for Devahuti, the mother of Lord Kapila. And she therefore satisfied the Lord by offering her prayers. Anyone who understands the basic principle of Sankhya philosophy is elevated in devotional service and becomes fully Krishna conscious or liberated even within this material world. So we don't have to die to get liberation. We can get liberation even while we are living in this material world. Simply have to engage in devotional service under the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master. Reading on, Devahuti Ruvacha Athapi Ajo Anta Salile Shayanam Bhutendriyarthatma Mayam Vapuste Guna Pravaham Sad Ashesha Bijam Dadhayo Swayam Yajata Racha Jataha. Devahuti said, Brahma is said to be unborn because he takes birth from the lotus flower which grows from your abdomen while you lie in the ocean at the bottom of the universe. But even Brahma simply meditated upon you, whose body is the source of unlimited universes. So Brahma, his another name is called Aja. Aja is he who is unborn. Why is Lord Brahma called unborn? Because he does not take birth like how we take birth from the womb of the mother. Whenever we think of someone's birth, there must be a material father and mother, for thus one is born. But Brahma, being the first living creature within this universe, was born directly from the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, the Vishnu form, lying down in the ocean at the bottom of the universe. So Garbhodakshai Vishnu, he's called Garbhodakshai Vishnu because he's lying down on the Garbha ocean. More than half, almost half the universe is filled with this water coming from the perspiration of the body of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And he lies down on this water. He's called Garbhodakshai Vishnu. From his navel comes a lotus stem and then a lotus flower. And Brahmaji sits on that lotus flower. So Lord Brahma's birth is not like our birth. You know, we have a material mother and a material father, and that's how we get our material body. So then the question will be raised that, okay, Lord Brahma, he is coming directly from the body of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So is the body of Brahma material or spiritual? You know, he's coming from directly from Garbhodakshai Vishnu. But the body of Brahmaji is material, is not spiritual. Is not spiritual. He's the first created living being inside the universe, and his body is material because even Brahmaji has to die. He also has to give up this body. So Devahuti wanted to impress upon the Lord that when Brahma wants to see him, he has to meditate upon him. You are the seed of all creation, she said. Although Brahma was directly born from you, still he has to perform many years of meditation. And even then, he cannot see you directly face to face. Your body is lying within the vast water at the bottom of the universe, and thus you are known as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So when Lord Brahma wants to see Krishna, when he wants to see Lord Vishnu, it's not easy for him. Lord Brahma, when he appeared, it was all dark, and he didn't know what is he doing there. What is the reason for him to be there? He didn't know. He tried. He went inside the lotus stem. It was all dark. No one else was there. He didn't know what to do. Then he heard the word tapa, do austerity, do austerity. And that's what he did. He meditated. He meditated for a long time. And then he got the knowledge of the Vedic knowledge was revealed to him from the heart because Krishna is there in the heart. Krishna spoke the Vedic knowledge to him in the heart, and then he got the knowledge of what he has to do. Oh, it's his duty to make the second creation. And he spoke this wonderful, beautiful prayers of the Brahma Samhita. Yeah. So the nature of the Lord's gigantic body is also explained in this verse. That body is transcendental, untouched by matter. So Garbhodakshai Vishnu's body is transcendental. It is spiritual. Although it's within the universe, it's within the material universe, but the Lord is always transcendental. It's like Prabhupada would give the example that even if the king is entering the prison, he is entering out of his own free will. He's not forced. It's not that the police has caught him and that's why he's forced to come in the prison. No, he comes and goes as he pleases. So that's the position of God, of Lord Vishnu, when he comes to this material world. Since the material manifestation has come from his body therefore existed before the material creation. The conclusion is that the transcendental body of Vishnu is not made of material elements. So, who created this material world? It's Krishna. Krishna created the material world. So it means that Krishna existed before this material world was created. That's how he's able to create. God created the earth. There is even a similar thing is there in the Bible. So God created. So means God exists before the creation. And we have to understand that because God existed before the creation, his body is transcendental. It's not material. Because he is creating the material elements. The body of Vishnu is the source of all living entities, as well as the material nature, which is also supposed to be the energy of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. So where do we come from? Why do we exist? We are souls. Why do we exist? Anyone?
We exist because we forgot Krishna.
Yes,
we are
right.
sending energy from him, like we came out from him.
That's right. Yes, we exist because God exists. That's right. That's right. We are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna exists, so we exist. That's right. And why does this material energy exist?
Means that this Maya, like that's how.
Because of
Yes.
Krishna, again,
Yes, that's right.
that is also the energy of Krishna then.
That's right. Yes. That's why he's called Sarva Karana Karanam. Cause of all causes. Cause of all causes is Krishna. Yes. So Devahuti said, you are the background of the material manifestation and all created energy. Therefore, you're delivering me from the clutches of Maya by explaining the system of Sankhya philosophy is not so astonishing. But you're being born from my abdomen is certainly wonderful, because although you are the source of all creation, you have so kindly taken birth as my child. That is most wonderful. Your body is the source of all the universe, and still you put your body within the abdomen of a common woman like me. To me, that is most astonishing. So what is Mother Devahuti saying? She is saying what is astonishing is not that you're giving me liberation. Of course, you can give me liberation. Why? Because you are the creator. You know, you have created this material world. You are putting me inside this material world. So for easily, you can take me out of the material world. But now she's saying what is astonishing is that this material world is coming from you, but you have come inside my abdomen. I'm an ordinary woman, she is saying, but you are God. And yet you agreed to be born from my womb. That is what is astonishing. So this is the inconceivable part of God. This is the inconceivable potency of Krishna. He's unborn. He does not need any material mother or father. Yet, for the sake of pastimes, he does that. He appears as Lord Kapila Dev. In his universal form, in his Garbhodakshayi form, all this, or in his Mahavishnu form, all universes are coming from him. So he's the source of creation. But he is entering into the womb of Devahuti. And this is what she's saying is astonishing. This is the inconceivable power of God. And instead of trying to understand this inconceivable power of God, we say, oh, God has become material. He is taking birth from ordinary woman, so he also has a material body. No, we have to understand. He's appearing, but his body is spiritual. And that is what is his inconceivable potency. That he is spiritual. He's coming from a material body of the abdomen of a common woman. Devahuti, of course, she's not common. She's a very special personality. That's why Lord Kapila Dev agrees to appear from her abdomen. But yet, this is the astonishing part.
So was it her desire that she wanted him to come as a son?
Lord Kapila,
see, like how Devaki and Yashoda, they had that desire. They wanted, right? But
so I remember we were reading that when Kardama Muni, he was sitting in meditation, he was doing yoga. Then he saw the Lord that he was meditating on came in front of him, and the Lord told him that, okay, Devahuti is going to come, you're going to marry her, and I will be born from her womb as Lord Kapila Dev. So it was the pastime of the Lord. I don't know if she had a specific desire that the Lord be born from her womb, or was it the Lord's desire to give the Sankhya philosophy? Because later we are going to read that why does he leave home? Because he came specifically to speak the Sankhya philosophy to Devahuti and through her to us. And once he's done that, then he leaves the house.
Yeah,
so
like Kardama Muni
moment,
left in the beginning, no? Kardama Muni left when Kapila Dev was already like grown, right?
Yes.
Grown.
Yes. And so when Kardama Muni, before he got married, the Lord had appeared to him and told him that I will be born as your son, Kapila, and I will give the Sankhya knowledge. So yeah, so I'm not sure if it was Devahuti's desire or Lord's desire. Yeah. Okay. So reading on. Sa eva vishwasya bhavan vidate guna pravahena vibhakta viryaha sargadi aniho abhitathapi sandhir atmaveshwaro tarkya sahasra shaktihi. My dear Lord, although personally you have nothing to do, you have distributed your energies in the interactions of the material modes of nature. And for that reason, the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation take place. My dear Lord, you are self-determined and are the Supreme Personality of Godhead for all living entities. For them, you created this material manifestation, and although you are one, your diverse energies can act multifariously. This is inconceivable to us. So here, Devahuti is speaking about the inconceivable nature of Lord. The statement made in this verse by Devahuti that the Absolute Truth has many diverse energies, although he personally has nothing to do, is confirmed in the Upanishads. There is no one greater than him or on an equal level with him. And everything is completely done by his energy, as if by nature. So Krishna, just simply by his will, all these things are happening. The universes are being created, the universe are being annihilated. Like how when Arjuna saw the universal form, he saw the people are just gushing into the mouth of the Lord. He's like the terrible, terrible form of death. Arms, eyes, ears, nose, everywhere. But Krishna, what is he himself doing personally? He is dancing with the gopis in Golok Vrindavan. It's the same. It's the same Krishna. He's God. He has nothing to do. But yet he does so many different things with his different energies. That is inconceivable. As Devahuti was just saying, you're God, you're creating this entire universe, but you still appeared from my womb. That is inconceivable. So it is understood herein, therefore, that although the modes of material nature are entrusted to different manifestations like Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, each of whom is particularly invested with different kinds of power, the Supreme Lord is completely aloof from such activities. Krishna says to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, I have nothing to do, but when I descend in this human form, then I act as a human being. Why? Because Krishna is the leader, he's the greatest authority. And if he were not to act, everyone will follow his example. He says that common people follow what the great personalities do. We do that. We say, oh, such and such is a great personality. He or she does it. Let me also do it. And even I will become great. So Krishna, he's the greatest. No one is greater than him. He acts just so we can follow his example, although he has nothing to do. He's just simply enjoying in Golok Vrindavan. So although you are personally not doing anything, your determination is absolute. There is no question of your fulfilling your will with the help of anyone else beside yourself. You are in the end the Supreme Soul and the Supreme Controller. Therefore, your will cannot be checked by anyone else. Now, we are always dependent on someone else for the fulfillment of our desires. We may think we are very independent. We say, yes, I'm independent. What do you think I'm dependent? I'm making my own thing. I'm making my own whatever. I have my own career, or I have my own, I can do things by myself. But we are always dependent. There's so many factors that we are dependent on. We will say economy, we will say the laws, country's laws, we are dependent on Mother Nature, so many things. But Krishna is completely independent. Completely independent. He does not depend on anyone to fulfill any of his desire. He's Atmaram. Atmaram. He's completely satisfied by himself. He is the controller. Therefore, your will cannot be checked by anyone else. So the Supreme Lord can check others' plans, as it is said, man proposes and God disposes. But when the Supreme Personality of Godhead proposes, that desire is under no one else's control. He is absolute. We are ultimately dependent on him to fulfill our desires, but we cannot say that God's desires are also dependent. That is his inconceivable power. So we say that, Krishna willing, depending on the will of God, of the Lord. Why do we say that? Because we know deep down, not a blade of grass can move without the sanction of the Lord. Not even a blade of grass. We think that a blade of grass cannot move without our will. Or we think that, or we want that. But that's not the truth. The truth is, nothing can move without the will of Krishna. That is the truth. That is Krishna's power. We want to have that power. We imagine that we have the power, but we don't have it. Only Krishna has it. That which may be inconceivable for ordinary living entities is easily done by him, and in spite of his being unlimited, he has subjected himself to being known from the authoritative scriptures like the Vedic literatures. As it is said in Shabda Mulatvat, he can be known through Shabda Brahma or Vedic literature. So Krishna is unlimited. How can we know the unlimited? Yet he allows himself to be known by hearing from the scriptures, by hearing from the pure devotees. We can understand Krishna. He's inconceivable, yet we can understand about Krishna from the pure devotees. And what can we understand? That, oh wow, how inconceivable his power is. How amazing his power is. It's inconceivable for us. But this is what we can come to understand, that God has these amazing potencies, inconceivable potencies. So is that okay, Sneha? We'll finish this para?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
you can
okay.
finish.
So why is the creation made? Since the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead for all living entities, he created this material manifestation for those living entities who want to enjoy or lord it over material nature. As the Supreme Godhead, he arranges to fulfill their various desires. So why does God create this material world? Many people ask this question, my dear Lord, why did you create the material world? The Lord created the material world for our desire, because we had the desire to enjoy independent of him. We want to experience how is it that we can enjoy without God. We want to experience how is it that we can imitate God. How is it that we can become God? And that's the reason he gives us this facility of the material nature. It is confirmed in the Vedas, Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman, the Supreme One supplies the necessities of the many living entities. There is no limit to the demands of the different kinds of living entities, and the Supreme One, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, alone maintains them and supplies them by his inconceivable energy. So who is maintaining us? Whether we accept it or no, whether we like it or no, it's Krishna who is maintaining us. It is confirmed in the Vedas. Eko Bahunam Yo Vedadati Kaman. There is one eternal who is supplying the necessities of all other eternals. So it's not that God is maintaining us only in this material world, and that once we come in the spiritual world, then I don't need any maintenance anymore. No, God maintains us even in the spiritual world. It's not that once I get liberated that, oh, I don't need God anymore. I become God myself and I become the maintainer of everyone, or I become my own maintainer. No, Krishna maintains us even in the spiritual world. This is the difference. I'm sorry. This is the difference between Krishna and us, that he's always the maintainer and we are always the maintained. Whether we are in the material world or in the spiritual world, whether we are inside the material body or we are liberated, we are always maintained, and Krishna is always the maintainer. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you have anything to add or comment? Sorry, we went a bit over time today. If no, then we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare